Oh shit! You've been working on some shit, ain't it? All right. I meant to pull up some more statistics on the inflation from the early 2000 to what it is now. Mm.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the King and I Life. Mostly about myself, Soul Touch of the Poet, and my brother in the house.
Sounds so lax.
Yo, um, I don't even know where we start. Hey, oh, I know where we start. Okay, you can follow us on whatever podcast platform that you subscribe to. Like, subscribe, and share. Follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, King and I Life Podcast. Again, on those platforms, like, subscribe, and share. So Lex, go ahead, bring some more heat to them.
Yeah, if you guys would like to join us, be a guest on our show, if you have some ideas for topics that you would like to have us discuss, you can send those topics and ideas to KINGANDEYE369 at gmail.com. Again, that's King and I369 at gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. And again, if you want to come on, let's chop it up.
Yes, please, please, because we got some. I want first and foremost, I want to give a big shout out to. I don't want to call them youngsters, um, but I want to give a shout out to the younger ladies. Yes, the younger ladies that will be coming up on the podcast soon. We just had a meeting with a young lady who works with LinkedIn. 28 years old, is doing phenomenal things.
Yes, yes.
Um, Her name is Tiara Swain, Swain Solutions. So go check her out. She's going to be on here next week with us. So that's going to be something real dope. I think, man.
Definitely, definitely. Yeah, we got some young females coming up, and again, we salute that, take our hats off to that. Keep doing your thing, young ladies, and we totally support that. One more thing, we want to thank Miss Lisa because she was the winner of the second King and I free T-shirt. Um, we already put that in the mail, didn't we?
Uh, Had a busy day, but it will be in the mail no later. It'll be in the mail this week. And also another T-shirt is going out to Miss Stephanie Lewis, who is our first Patreon person. So shout out to her. Thanks for the support to both of y'all ladies. It
Definitely,
means
definitely.
it means a lot to us. So thank y'all. Again, those shirts will be in the mail this week. Um, but yeah, again, thank you too for participating. Thank everyone for supporting us and tuning in, listening to us. Um, you know, as people say, you could be anywhere in the world, but we want to thank you for sharing your time with us on a Wednesday evening from 7:30 p.m. Until you know we conclude our sessions.
For sure, for sure. We will say that no one has guessed the first riddle yet.
Look,
So we're still waiting on answers for that one. At the end of the this particular podcast, we will drop a couple more hints, and hopefully, someone will guess it while we are, in the process of doing this one. So before we get off, we want a winner. We want to give someone these shirts. Trust me.
Yeah, because
But
I feel like I'd be getting hate messages on that answer. I was close. I was close. I'm like, yeah, you was close, but look, I'm not the riddle guy. I don't do riddles, man. I'm not the riddle guy.
yeah, we'll hook somebody up. We'll drop some hints, and you know, someone will guess it
Yeah, somebody will.
for sure.
But yeah, today's topic we're gonna talk about inflation, man. As you see in the title, inflation. What can we get for 63 cents? Um, yeah, that what can we get for 63 cents stuck out to me. One, because it was used in a song. I can't remember the song that it was used in, but that particular line comes from uh for those of you who are seasoned enough in life, comes
All
from
right.
Fat Albert and the gang, with Mudfoot. What can we get for 63 cents? So I thought that was catching, because when I was little, 63 cents could get you a whole hell of a lot of stuff.
Heck yeah.
Um, but now when you go in the store and you look at a damn candy bar, you can't get a candy bar for 63 cents no more. Them jokers is like $1.25.
Yeah. Damn near impossible to find any candy bar
Yeah,
for under $1.
yeah. So yeah. So we're gonna get into this. As the average consumer, we sit back and say, damn, every time I turn around, things are getting more expensive. But with that, it doesn't seem like our salaries or ability to afford the rising cost of goods and services is in a competitive zone, meaning the prices of services and goods are going up all the time, or even they're fluctuating, but our salaries, they don't mirror that fluctuation. So so what we're going to do today, we're going to have a lighthearted yet a serious conversation about inflation.
Oh yeah. I feel like the whole thing with the inflation, I get the cost of products and some goods do go up with time. But at the same time, a lot of products and goods go down with time because technology has made it easier for them to get, these products and services. So it's kind of like, although they could charge people less because they're able to save more,
Hmm.
um, they're still jabbing it to the consumers, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's kind of like where I'm at with it, because um you know let's get into what is inflation. The decline of purchasing power of a given currency over time. Now, as Sun Soul X was talking, and when we look at the definition of inflation, and disclaimer, we are not experts in this. We are consumers who feel the brunt of this. So we're
Exactly.
we're speaking from you know what we know of and how we feel and how it affects us. So when you look at how things progress from when we were little to now, um they're able to turn out more products and services than they used to, easier, and all this other stuff. um and the thing that kills me is that, being that it's so much easier for them to produce things, you would think that the cost of it would go down. um I don't know how much you watch the news when it comes to things like this, but they always talk about how it's easier to manufacture this and easier to manufacture that. And, let's just say, whether I'm in the dark or in the light, or, the whole concept of that, it just blows my mind how we have all these advances in technology and whatever else, and efficiency, and the price of things just go up.
Yeah, it's crazy because again, if you uh, study or if you're following what's going on in the world today with technology, how workers are being replaced with robotics and machineries, your cost is if anything is going down because you don't have to worry about hiring that. Just the process alone of hiring someone is
Hmm.
costly.
Right.
So when you're paying someone hourly or salary or whatever the case may be, again, you have to make up that deficit by adding on to your service or your products.
Hmm.
But when you have machines, yes, you have to maintain those machines, but in the long run, your cost has gone substantially down.
Yeah.
So again, by you not even trying to adjust, the product of your goods and services because it's saving you money as a company or corporation, it's crazy how you still pass that along to the consumers.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, our cost of living, they give us a raise at my particular employer every year.
Yeah.
But again, the cost of those increases is nowhere near matching the cost of living.
Right. Because
It's
they typically give you like 3%.
right. So
And
it
yeah.
makes no sense to me, that the inflation is going up, you know, 10 times as much as your cost of, living rate. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy. And you was talking about, people being replaced by machinery and this, that, and the other. And, if you look at the average worker compared to a machine, all right, yeah, it is cost with technology and this, that, and the other. But if you take the human aspect of it, you got to pay for 401k, you got to pay for medical benefits, the whole benefits package.
yeah,
Let's just say if you get somebody hurt, you got workman's comp, you got all this, you got all that. And it just blows my mind because either a lot of these jobs and stuff are going away, which tells me, well, you don't have to worry about wages and all this, that, and the other. And then a lot of them are shipping jobs over to other countries where they pay very minimal salary. So it's like, why is inflation so horrible?
right,
And again, we're not experts in this. But if there's anybody out there who would like to, give some input, please give it because it just blows my mind.
yes, definitely do. So, I mean, again, we understand that you're in the business to make money, whatever service you may offer or product you may offer. But at the same time, when you're maximizing your profits and you're cutting back on certain benefits that you give some employees, or if you're taking the jobs overseas or to different countries and paying people less wages, again, it makes no sense to pass those savings basically on to the consumer because you as a company you're making the savings,
Mm-hmm.
but we as the consumers we get to none of that. If anything, you're continuing to hack the prices up.
Mm. Yes, you're jacking us, and isn't and again, we're looking at it from a consumer standpoint, and from, with that being said, I'm not jiving with it. So let's talk about the types of inflation. First, you have um, the first one is cost push, and cost push is prices increase due to increase in production costs such as raw materials and wages. Um, I need someone out there, an economic scholar or someone, to help me understand um, why are production costs going up so high. Again, when a lot of stuff is automated, you don't have people out there doing it. Um, and why are wages going up when it's like y'all try to pay people the bare minimum to do these jobs? So I mean, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's from what I'm listening, with paying attention to, how the job market is going now, especially with, the whole scenario we got going on with COVID. Um, a lot of people are out of work, but they're really stressing the fact that there's a high demand for employees.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a high demand for employees, again, to tempt these new employees, you would think you would want to pay them more.
You would think that.
But again, a lot of jobs they're just still trying to nickel and dime, their employees. I will say one place in particular, Chick-fil-A, from what I heard, I don't know, if it's true or not, but they start you off at $15 an hour.
Whew, goodness gracious.
Like 15
Oh my
and you're
God.
home every night?
Oh my God.
Like that's mad money, especially if you're someone fresh out of high school or still attending high school or hell even college at this time. But making that kind of money, and
Oh
still
my
living at
goodness.
home with mommy and daddy, you're doing pretty damn good in my opinion.
That made me laugh because I remember we was in Germany working at, and I worked at Burger King. I think I was making like $6, something like that.
Hmm.
And then what made me laugh was when we worked and we were putting bikes together. How much did we make putting a bike together? How much did we make each bike?
Oh, damn, I want to say it's like $3 or 350. It was something like that per bike. It wasn't a ton, as they say.
Yeah. Um, but that's the time when things was cheap. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, that just made me laugh when you was talking about that. Um, then we have demand pull. Demand pull is strong consumer demand for products or services, and this is the one that blows my mind the most.
right.
Um, and I say that because when something is trending, when it's hot, when it's a holiday, when it's this, when it's that, when it's the other, you know, the price of goods and services goes through the roof. Um, and I think that more than cost push, I think demand pull more blows my mind than anything because it to me that's just like, oh damn, this is hot. Let me charge this because I know people going to buy it.
Hmm.
It may vary from demographic to demographic, but an economy or society as a whole, when that thing is hot, everybody's running out to get it, and they be like, "Oh, let me raise the price on this."
Yeah. Um, I'll say this. Well, let me ask you this question. Up where you
Hmm.
are there a lot of females that drive pickup trucks?
Um, yes. What do you mean a lot though?
I mean, like, here in the South, we pretty much got a balance of men and females that drive, pickup trucks.
Hmm.
But I was just wondering because you're a little bit further up north. Do women drive trucks like men drive trucks? Meaning, do you see a shitload of women driving trucks just as many as men?
I'm gonna say yeah. Um, because before I just got my Nissan Titan, and before I got mine, I would always look at pickup trucks like, would I get a pickup truck? I mean, they talk about them so much, and some of them look hot. But I would say, yeah, there's a lot of women driving pickup trucks. Now, do they own them? Don't know, but there are usually a lot of women driving pickup trucks, and they are in high demand.
They are. The reason I bring that up is because I remember, being in my teens and we did a product analysis.
Hmm.
Uh, this was, in my high school years, and we're talking about pickup trucks, how, the marketing uh, companies for Ford, GM, Chevy, Dodge, all of those, they deliberately start pushing pickup trucks towards females.
Hmm.
again to bump up their bottom line.
Mm-hmm.
But just to make a circle out of that, if you look at the price of the average pickup truck nowadays, it's mad crazy. Like I was
Out
looking
the
at
roof.
a GMC 2019, um, back in 2019, and they were hitting right at like $70,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, are you out of your damn mind?
Yeah.
Like, who does that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice trucks. Don't get me wrong, but 70 plus, like you can't break that down to me to make me understand how this truck that I gotta pay insurance, I gotta make the payments, I gotta keep the maintenance up on. It doesn't make sense.
Look here. Um, the thing about pickup trucks, because I was watching a few YouTube videos, especially since I got my Titan, um, and I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and I was watching a video on CNBC on
Mhm.
YouTube, and they was talking about pickup trucks. And the thing about it is, you know, pickup trucks have gone from work trucks to daily drivers to uh vacation, things, to luxury trucks and this, that, and the other. Um and they market them in a way that they replace the traditional car. They put all of these amenities in them. And
Right.
it's like me growing up, when I look at a pickup truck or even an SUV, and you put four-wheel drive on it, I'm thinking, hey, this is supposed to go off-road. But now it's like you don't want to drive them off-road because they
No.
so cute. They so fly, they so hot, and it's like I don't want to drive this off road. I might chip a paint, this, that, and the other. And with the big three, Ford, GM, and Dodge, and they market these trucks so well, and it's like, man. And then they talk about Ford. Oh, the F-150 is the longest selling truck, and this, that, and the other. And it's like you look at these trucks, and you're like, wow. And the prices are just going up and up and up and up. Um, like I got it like I got a 2017 Nissan Titan. Um, and then I started looking at the 2021s, and I'm like, yo, I can buy three cars with the price of one of these. Like I don't know. I'm not doing it. But I mean, they market them, and they make the demand so high on them that yeah, the prices are up out the roof. Like I can never fathom paying $70,000 for a pickup truck. Um, and as much as I love the trucks of the current model year,
Right.
I'm good. I'm not. No, I wouldn't even pay 50,000 for a truck. So when it comes to pickup truck, I'm getting a used one because I'm not buying into that whole demand pull and cost push inflation when it comes to certain things.
Yeah. But excuse me, the thing about it is the cost of a used vehicle now has jumped. I think they
Oh
said like
God, yes.
I think it's in between like 8 and 12%. It's
Mm,
something crazy like that. Don't quote me on that. But um, when you have these newer vehicles
mm,
um, coming out and you're spending damn near the same for a used vehicle, it kind of like throws it up in the air. You're like, is it worth it to buy this used vehicle? Yes, it may be, 2 or 3 years old, but if the new one is 52 and this one is 48, you know what I'm saying? It kind of makes people think, I might as well go with the new one because there's only a few $1,000s difference.
yeah.
But again, the crazy part about it is as soon as you pull that vehicle off the lot,
Depreciation hit
yes,
right away.
And the thing that people I don't think people quite understand, to a certain extent is yes, it's a new vehicle. Yes, it's a nice vehicle. Yes, it comes with all kinds of warranties and things of that nature.
Hmm.
But why in the hell is it while it's in my custody, the price goes down? When it goes back
Right.
to a dealership, the price goes up.
Yeah. And keep in mind, if your vehicle's in fairly good condition, you trade it in, they're gonna say, "Oh yeah, your vehicle is worth about 4 or 5 thousand, blah blah blah." They're gonna turn around and sell that joker for like 9, 10 thousand,
Exactly.
and it's like, wait a minute, I don't understand. I really don't understand. Maybe I'm slow. If I'm slow, I'm owning it. I'm slow, but yeah, that's crazy. And then again with demand pull, you know, consumers have, when something is trending, people jump on it, and because people are jumping on it, they're going to jack them prices up, and it's like, dude, that that that's not, nah, come on now, you're killing me with that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy because, I'm like you, I want a truck. I'm really feeling a truck. I got that itch for a truck.
Hmm.
And my wife is constantly telling me, if you want a truck, just go get the damn truck. Just stop bringing it up to me about how much you want this damn truck. And I'm like, yeah, but and she like, I don't want to hear it. If you want one, go get one. You can afford it. Just do it.
Get the truck,
But
get the truck, anime.
yeah, yeah. But I still, I'm to that point where I just don't want it. I
Right.
want it, but I'm not looking forward to making that type of long term commitment. Meaning, the average price for a brand new truck, you're looking to spend amount of time as far as payment in between 7 to 12 years on a
Mm,
freaking vehicle. To me, that still blows my mind thinking about it. As far as like what my parents actually spent when I was a kid for a vehicle.
yeah. Yeah. Cheryl says there are some homes in places like Alabama and Kentucky less than 70,000. I'd better be planning on living in it for that kind of money. Um,
Definitely,
I'm
sure.
I'm glad you brought that up. Um, Places like Alabama, Kentucky, um, South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, uh, Tennessee, um, Mississippi,
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Now, I know the prices of houses may have come up, but for a house to cost 70,000 in those places where I'm at in Maryland, it's probably going to cost 3 to 4 times that much. Um, like I have a split level house. Got it in 2011 for 240,000. Um, Now, granted, the previous owners, they doubled the size of the house, but this house for $240,000 in Maryland, and Alabama or Kentucky probably would have been 90 to 150,000.
Wow.
Um, and trust and believe, this I have a split level home, and I, it's like this style of split level home is built in a whole bunch of places, and it just blows my mind that they say, oh, the cost of this, the cost of that, and blah blah blah. And it's like, but it's the same damn house that's in Alabama or Kentucky or South Carolina, North Carolina. Why is it so much up here? Oh, it's inflation. Like, what are you inflating? You trying to inflate my head with bullshit? Like, come on. Like, really help me
Yeah.
understand right now.
That's a very good point because when you think about it, I mean, if you have a house and let's say the house was built back in 1970
Yes.
and this is 2021
Yes.
and the price of that house, as old as it is still going up. I'm like, wait a minute, this is basically a house that was built back in 1970 that, I don't give a damn how many upgrades the owner has done. This is a house that was still built in 1970.
Oh man, let me tell you, my house was built in 1968. And again, the previous owners doubled the size of the house.
Right.
Um, I've been doing upgrades here and there, and oh, that's going to increase the value of your house. And I'm like, yo, so if I continue with my upgrades, this house can be about close to $500,000. Because me, I'm a technology nut, so I'm
Right.
in here throwing all kind of light switches and all that stuff. So I'm like, yo, come on, man, you're killing me. Yeah, you're killing me. Thaddeus says, I follow Dave Ramsey School of Knowledge. Pay cash for a vehicle and keep it moving. Auto loans and are debt traps. No matter what, use the 495 month towards a vacation. Create memories and wealth, not debt. We drive up the cost due to spending habits. Very, very, very good points. Um, but the funny thing about that, when you say pay cash for a vehicle, I've seen so many YouTube videos where they say never pay cash for a car, and I'm like, well, why not? I mean, it's going to depreciate anyway. Um, Unless you leasing cars here and there. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Cheryl says, but there is a huge difference in what kind of pay one receives in those areas you mentioned, as opposed to here in our area. That's true. Where you at? What is like the average salary for a person?
Um, in my area here in Florida, Tallahassee, I'd probably say around about 80,000, somewhere around there.
Ooh, that's high for that area.
Well, on my side of town, probably.
It's on your side of town.
uh, I guess if I want to be a little bit more realistic about it, probably, I don't know, maybe between 50, 55, somewhere around there.
Mm, wow. Um, yeah. Wow. So, in terms of inflation and the cost of goods and services and stuff like that, um, back in 2000, I want to say 2002, 2003, I was working at the Baltimore City Health Department. My yearly salary was like 25,000, um, and my rent was probably like 900 to 1100 a month, just the rent alone.
Wow.
Um, so I do know that the cost of an apartment that I had, if I was like in your area, probably be a whole lot cheaper at that
Mhm.
time. But then my salary would probably be a lot less at that time. So I mean, inflation hits a lot of areas in a person's life, and it's just amazing that the way that this system around the world, when it comes to the economies and stuff like that, that inflation is such um make or break factor depending on you know what line of work you're in and what jobs are available and stuff like that.
Right.
So I mean, it's just it really is mind blowing to me.
It is. I mean, one thing about, where I live in the capital city, which is Tallahassee. So it's kind of like there are so many government employees there. I
Mm,
think that's, one of the things that contributes to, our local economy. But um hell, we were looking at, before we bought our house, at, renting an apartment, and saving a little bit more money before we buy.
hmm
But at that time, which was roughly about a year and a half ago,
hmm
somewhere around there, just for a two-bedroom apartment, we're looking at about anywhere from 1,000 to 1,400, depending on, what part of town you lived in. And I'm
Shit, y'all
like,
doing good.
that is crazy.
Y'all doing good.
That to me is high as hell for an apartment.
Y'all doing good.
I'm like, damn, am I living in New York or something?
Dude, when I was going through my divorce and I moved out of my house, I got an apartment um in Laurel, Maryland, which is like 45 minutes from where I'm at now, and probably
Mhm.
about 45 minutes from DC where I worked. I was literally paying 1,800 for a two-bedroom townhouse.
What?
1,800 a month.
Okay.
Yeah. So
For that kind of money, I'm
you
supposed
might
to
as
get
well
some.
have a house.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking I might be getting some special services coming through every now and then for that kind of money.
Yeah, give me a morning sunshine to, something like, man. Yeah. So let's talk about the causes of inflation.
All right.
The first thing we want to talk about is production cost. Um, that is one that really bothers me. Um, Again, as we mentioned in the opening, when you think about production costs at this time in our lives, you would think that it would cost less to produce certain things. And I say that because the old ways of producing goods and providing services, which was taxing on everything, is kind of gone. You know,
Hmm.
and a lot of things are more automated, it's more streamlined. You do more with less people, more with less this, that, and the other. And it's like somebody needs to help me understand why production costs are so high when you know a lot of things can be produced with a couple of clicks on a keyboard at a computer.
Exactly. I will say when I worked at a production plant, we manufacture 18-wheeler trailers, right?
Hmm.
When I first started working there, one production line probably had close to about 120 people on it.
Hmm.
I stayed at that position or that particular plant for a total of 7 years. By the time I left there, one production line had a total of maybe 24 people. That's
Wow.
how much the technology had changed.
And production costs probably skyrocketed.
Um, with the process of animation, I mean, robotics and
Automation.
automation. Thank you. Um, it was a whole lot smoother, a whole lot faster. We went from on that particular line from doing maybe about 7 or 8 a day
Hmm.
to like 14 or 15 a day
Hmm.
off of that one line. And this plant had a total of 7 lines.
Mm.
So, I mean, the number of people went down, robotics came in, um, everything went smoother, faster,
Hmm.
but the cost of the trailers never came down. Even though, again, their profit margin went up because they didn't need so many people.
Right. And then when you look at production costs, and you look at moving from, manual labor to automation, a lot of things are taken out of the equation. And some of those things are, injuries to workers on the workplace stress, workplace violence and all this, that, and other. A lot of those things are taken out. So you don't have to worry about the cost of that in the aspect of production.
Right.
So again, it blows my mind that you know cost of production is going up. I mean, carpal tunnel might be a beast. I don't know. I mean, so yeah. Um,
But the cost of raw materials,
mm,
that one is kind of, I have mixed emotions on that
do
because
you?
the thing about it is with raw materials, of course, takes money to, you know, um, make these materials, or pull these materials from, if they're um, from the land or trees, or
Hmm.
whatever the situation is. The cost of that tree, whether you cut it or trim it or whatever you do, it doesn't change.
Right.
So it's kind of like, if that tree, from the seed to the time is old enough to actually be harvested, the cost of raising that tree, it hasn't changed. If anything's gone down.
Mm.
So why in the hell are you charging so much for wood?
I guess I have mixed emotions on that now. Because when it comes to the cost of raw materials, I can understand and comprehend why the cost of raw materials are going up. But then again, I'm not understanding. Um, I can understand it because throughout the decades, they've been over mining, over deforesting, and you know tearing up the environment, this, that, and the other. So in that aspect, yeah. And then I have to look at, well, the cost of raw materials. It's kind of like a shortage of them. So if there's a shortage of these raw materials, and it takes, let's say it takes several lifetimes for the earth to replenish itself with these raw materials,
Right.
you would think that maybe you should slow down a little bit. Um, because you can't convince me that you're going deeper into the earth for certain raw materials. Um, and you can't convince me that it's, I don't know. You can't convince me it's harder to mine for these materials, but then again, you can convince me that it is because, uh, let's just say in certain areas, let's say it's like 500 feet down, and then maybe you got to dig 10,000 feet down. Okay,
Right.
so now we're looking at the cost of the things to mine with in this, that, and the other. Um, Thaddeus says, perfect example, the iPhone. The cost continues to increase at each generation, not because it's the best in utility option, rather it's a status symbol. Dude, yes.
Definitely. Definitely. I don't understand that. That is my whole thing is this, right? For a damn cell phone, we as consumers in some cases are spending over $1,000 for a damn phone.
Yes, we are.
When How in the
Yes, we
hell did
are.
that make sense for a cell phone?
Yes, we are. Look.
I got my own theory on that, but I'll keep it moving. I'll keep it moving.
Thaddeus, I'm glad you just brought
Yes,
that up
very good
because
point. Very good point.
so check this out. I got the iPhone 11 Pro Max, what, 2 years ago? Um, and I don't remember how much it cost, but I think it was like 900 to $1,000. Um, that's a lot. Uh, I recently just got a Mac Mini, and I
Hmm.
paid 680 for it. Now we're talking about a desktop computer costing less than an iPhone. Um, the current iPhone 12 Pro Max, $1,100 or more, and like Thaddeus just said, um, it's not because it's the best. It's a status symbol. So, um, yeah, Thaddeus, I just got the 12 Pro Max, so that's why I'm glad you brought that up. But you know, y'all still making iPhones the same way y'all been making them.
Yes.
The only thing that may have changed is the camera, the battery, the shape, the size options. the storage options. But it's like, yo, for some people, the price of a cell phone is the price of rent or mortgage.
Yes.
The price of a cell phone is two times as much as a uh your typical family car.
This
Like, uh,
it's crazy. My phone, I got it probably about a good 2 years ago, I want to say. And I keep, going back and forth with my wife about it. I'm like, as soon as this month go out, I'm going back to me a flip phone. And
but you
she
but
like,
you can't really do that because there's no. Okay, so with you saying that now, we're talking about the cost of raw materials, production costs, and this, that, and the other.
right.
You literally cannot go back to a flip phone. You have to come up to the current flip phone.
If that's what I have to do, but I refuse to keep paying these damn high prices for a damn cell phone. It just makes no sense.
But
And
you
I should
can't
be
get around it.
still kicking myself in the ass for the price I pay for my current phone. Um, I have a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, and this dude still uses a flip phone to this day.
I
And
mean,
every time we talk, he gives me hell about our phones because I'm like, "You still using a damn cheap ass flip phone? It don't have any features. The only thing you can do is basically talk on that song, go."
and that's
And
the thing.
yes, and he like, "Yeah, that's true, but that's all I need to do is talk on it. I don't
Nah,
need all those, apps and maps and all that."
that's how they get us.
Yes, I
That's
agree.
how they get us with inflation when it comes to that particular item because hey, what do we need a phone for? Talk. That's all we really need a phone for is a talk.
Yes,
But you got text message, you got video message, you got um social media and all this, that, and the other. So it's like, hey, hmm, they're making this type of phone. Now, if I make a program or something to throw on this phone and we partner up and we make it sound good, it's going to drive up demand, drive up inflation, and this, that, and the other. And the cost push, the demand pull.
yeah.
I, and the same thing with vehicles now. We was just talking about the pickup trucks now, but they like $60,000, $70,000. Um, it's the same basic premise as a pickup truck from back in the day, except you have all these bells and whistles. Um, remember back in the day, uh, air conditioning in a car was an option that you had to pay extra for,
Hmm.
and that raised the price of the car. Um, now air conditioning is standard, so that added price to the car back in the day, let's just say you add air conditioning to the car and made the car was, let's say the car was $5,000. Air conditioning made it 5,500. Now, air conditioning is standard, the car is 5,500, and anything on top of that, you add. And then, all right, now that's the standard for cars these days. Let's say blind spot, mirrored thing. All
Yeah,
right, now, where that was an option before, that car would cost 6,500 with that added option. Now, with that standard, it's 6,500, and if you want something on top of that, then it goes up. And it's like, are we like, are there's no way around it. Almost, there's
yeah.
almost
I,
no way around it.
I think the thing is we've come so accustomed to the newest, latest, and greatest.
I
You know what I'm
know,
saying? It's
I'm
almost
guilty.
like a drug to a certain extent. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? We sometimes forget to stop and think. What do I really need? Not what I want, but what
yeah,
do I need?
yeah,
And
yeah.
again, when it comes down to these vehicles and phones and the latest and greatest, you think it make it easier on you, but in some cases, it really don't.
Right, right. Yeah. So let's talk about higher wages. I think this is a sore spot for me. They talk about higher wages, but then you got to factor in what industry are you talking about? Um, because there's the fight about minimum wage. Um, then you have certain job fields that salaries are through the roof, and this, that, and the other.
Right.
Um, and then you also have to look at in the areas that you're in with these certain jobs. So like um, in Baltimore, let's just say you take a security job, you're probably making around 25, 30,000 a year. Uh, in DC, when I did security, I was pulling in over 80,000 a year. Um, and then it's like you factor in inflation, let's just say across the board. And it's like, if I'm in DC making 80,000 doing security, and this other person is in Baltimore making 25,000 doing security, 30,000 at the most, and then you look at somebody in Arkansas probably making 17 to 20,000. And then again, you look at inflation, it's like, yo, wait a minute, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Because like you're saying, depending on what area you are in, the amount of money you're making, but the inflation is across the board for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you making that 25,000, you making that 55 plus. Again, it's kind of like you're this type of level. You know what I mean? Because the inflation is just crazy. It's steady going up, and again, depending on what area you live in, you're more able to accommodate that raise with inflation. And if you're not making that great of money, then you're definitely hurting because of the
Yeah,
cost of inflation.
yeah. In terms of inflation, I often thought about moving away from Maryland because things are some certain things are so expensive. Um, and I was talking to somebody a while back, and it was like, "Oh, you should move to Texas. The cost of living this, the cost of living that." And even my son who lives in Arkansas, like, "Oh, the cost of living this, the cost of living that." And I'm sitting there like, I get it. The cost of living may be a lot lower than it is in Maryland, but when I look at the average jobs out there, I can't survive off of that. Um, if I look at the job that I do right now, and when I did security, um, I would probably take a $20,000 to $30,000 pay cut moving to another area doing the same thing that I'm doing,
Right.
unless I worked for the federal government. Um, and again, inflation is going up every year at varying degrees, and um, yeah, man.
I've heard some people say, like with Texas, me and my wife, we talked about moving there at one point, but we have some friends that live there, and they're saying, basically their neighbors are like, we don't want a whole lot of people coming here because when people come there, they actually raise the cost of living.
Hmm.
Because when you have a high demand of people moving into a certain area, of course, everybody start jacking up the price of their houses, or again, like we said, raw materials, the bill houses, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
So people in these lower cost states, they really have that mentality of come visit, but don't come
But you
stay,
go home. You got to go home.
because you jacking shit. I mean, excuse me, you jacking,
Yeah.
you are jacking things up around here.
Yeah.
So
And that's crazy how that works. Certain places maybe the average house goes for like 70, $80,000, and you get a nice 5 bedroom house, a nice piece of land, but you get more people coming in. Oh, it's gonna cost more because inflation is, and it's like, wait. Time out. You're telling me because more people came and it's more demand. Now
right,
this house that was just $80,000 2 weeks ago has jumped up to 150,000. Like, nah, you killing me with that.
yes. So a surge in demand for products and services, I think we Just got done talking about that. So
Yeah, we
companies,
did. But um, the surge in demand for products and services, um, and to tie that back into higher wages, let's just say you have a family member that you have to put in an elderly care facility.
right?
Um, and let's just say the baby boomers are moving up to that age, and family like, I got to put you somewhere. Okay, yes, you have a high demand for that product slash service. um but typically those wages are not going to reflect that high demand in that product or service.
No, it's not. I mean, the thing about it is, those of us who have younger kids, the cost of
Oh my god, I forgot all about that.
daycare
It's
alone.
ridiculous.
Yes,
Oh my
yes,
god, yo,
yes.
dude, I know people who pay like $1,800 a month for one child.
Good God, man.
And
Good
I've said to
God.
myself, so and I'm talking about, this is like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I said to myself, I am in the wrong field. I should have went to school for early childhood education, opened me up a damn daycare, had a 24-hour daycare service, and made a killing.
Yes. I mean,
1,800 a month.
in the era we're in,
And
uh,
let me just have 12 kids. Let me just have 12 kids in my facility. Yes, I have to pay the cost of all this, that, and the other, but yo, $1,800 a month for 12 kids. Come on, now, I'm not.
yeah.
They would be the best kids in the business.
Do the math, man. Do
Do
the
the
math.
math. I mean, and it. Oh yeah, and those people who work for some of those companies, or agency do that provide daycare, their wages do not reflect the rising cost of that service.
No.
So when
No.
you look at that whole inflation thing, I really need somebody to break that down to me as to how, like in the daycare industry, you can pay 1,800 a month for your child to go to this specific daycare, and they don't provide any out of the ordinary services other than, I'm gonna make sure your child takes a nap, your child is fed, your child is safe, your child sings songs, take naps, and the basic things that the average person does at home. But you're charging 1,800 a month for this particular child, and let's just say you got 5 or 6 employees, and they're making like $10 an hour.
I mean, think about this now. If that's just one child, think about the people who have 3 and 4 kids, and that's a low number.
I'm glad I got a vasectomy.
I'm like,
You know?
there's no way in hell you could afford it. I mean, you got to be making some mad bread in order just to afford having your kids taken care of at daycare.
Yes, and oh my gosh, and then you factor in what area that's in. You got
Yes.
to factor that in.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
So companies charging more for products. Again, I think we already kind of hit on that one. Did you want to add anything to that?
Not well, nah, not really. I mean, I think it's ridiculous um that companies charge more for products. I mean, we was talking about pickup trucks.
Right.
You know, whereas probably 5, 10 years ago, you know, pickup trucks probably was like $10,000 less than what they are now. But the base model of a vehicle today that these companies are providing are like the luxury models of 5, 10 years ago. And and it's like, wow, yeah, yeah, I don't have anything else to add to that.
No, it's crazy because I remember there was a time where if you drove a sports car, you were definitely living a life. But
Yeah.
now, looking at the landscaping for sports cars, it's kind of crazy.
Mm,
The demand for sports car is still there, but the number of people buying them have dramatically dropped because of the price of them.
yeah, yeah. Um, but you know, some of them are just not. Some of them, are not budging on the price because it's that demand pull that we were talking about.
Right,
Um, and there's a certain demographic that are buying these cars, and they know that that car is going to be highly sought after or whatever the case may be. So it's that it is what it is. And then you have companies who are buying, who are you know hand building cars, and you have to specifically order that car in order for them to build that car. So in that aspect, I kind of understand it, but then again, at the end of the
right,
day, some of these things are just are costing too much. And the other thing about this, when it comes to inflation, um, we also have to look at these companies that are charging more for products. You have to understand that a lot of these companies have high end, middle end, and low end products.
right,
So if you're looking at, let's say, GMC, for example, you got Chevy, which is kind of like the cheaper. Then you have GMC, which is slash middle high. And then you have Cadillac, which is high. Then you also have Buick, which is middle high. So it's like it's a big game.
it
Um,
is.
then if you look at Ford, you got Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury. Do they still make Mercuries? I don't know,
I think
but
they stopped.
you got Ford and Lincoln, and then you got Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and what other what other brand they got? They got rid of Eagle.
Hmm.
But they have all these, low end, middle, and high end products, and it's like if you sit in one, well, you sit them side to side. Oh, they look the same. I got a Hyundai Sonata, um, and and Hyundai and Kia are the same things. But if I get a $20,000 Hyundai Sonata, that Kia, um, damn, the Kia is going to cost like 35,000. Same car, just a few different aesthetics here and there and badging.
Right,
And I don't know, man. I don't know. You look at Nissan and Infinity, like look,
true.
but it's like, hey, I'm gonna sell this budget brand right here at a significant price, and then I'm gonna have my luxury line, same damn thing, just a few different, and it's boom through the roof, and the demand is high for these luxury items, that is crazy. Um, I said to myself a long time ago, I would never buy a Mercedes or a BMW. Love them,
Um,
but never buy them. I'm not for that life. I'm not about that life. I'm just not. My as a consumer, my demand to have one of those is just not there.
right.
Because I'm not buying into that inflation joke right there, especially if I pull it off the lot and it's like, oh, it depreciated 5,000. Like, I just drove 15 feet. I went 15 feet and I lost $5,000 on my car.
Yeah.
Oh, man, nah, I'm good.
But who benefits from inflation?
Man, okay. So, who benefits from inflation? So, the first thing is debtors on fixed repayment plans. So, those would be the people who say bought a car. Well, let's not say car. Let's say bought a house and they have a traditional mortgage where their mortgage is set. They benefit. So people who have loans and this, that, and the other out there that are fixed at a fixed rate, they benefit because you know you don't have to worry about your finance rate fluctuating every time the inflation goes up and this that. You don't have to worry about that.
Right. I just think that there are so many companies out here who are actually just taking advantage of people when it comes down to um, whether it be a car or a house or refinancing your car or your house or getting a personal loan. When you have a interest rate, 20 something plus APR, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, I understand that you're in the business to make money, but you don't
Hmm.
have to be in business to murder people.
Man, look here. um, I don't even know what to say about that. Um, mm, yeah,
Credit union. That's all I can say.
yeah, yeah. That's a different animal. Yeah, yeah, I got nothing. So the second thing is governments with high public sector debt. Um, yeah, I get it. I mean, because if you're a government agency and your debt, your public sector debts are that high, um, yeah, that's going to help you.
Yeah.
That's going to help
I,
you.
I mean, my thing with our country and how much debt we're in right now, I think that it's so many trillions or gazillions, whatever it is. But they're saying that not even our kids' lifetime would they have enough time to pay back the debt.
Hmm.
So I'm just amazed by that. It's like, so how in the hell do that make sense then?
Mm,
How
yeah.
do it make sense for us to keep constantly going into more debt? And it's like no one's worried about paying it back or,
Hmm.
what's going to happen when, everybody call in their markets, as they say.
Right.
It's not going to end well. That's all I can say.
It's not. It's really not. But yeah, I just think, yeah, that's just crazy. It all around. It's all around crazy to me. Um, then we have owners of land and physical assets. Uh, Now, of course, if you own land, you're gonna benefit because you know that land is yours. You don't have to worry about um purchasing land, and if you have physical assets, those assets belong to you. So um you're not worried about um how that's going to affect your assets because your assets are your assets.
I mean, the thing about it is, again, having an asset is always a good thing, especially, if it's a house or land. Um, you don't have to make that monthly payment. I mean, basically, the only thing you got to do is worry about paying your taxes and the upkeep,
Yeah,
of your home. Your
pretty much.
land, give or take.
Yeah.
Your land is going to be land whether you take care of it or not. Just pay your
Right.
taxes on that sucker. That's
Yeah,
all I
just
can
pay your
say.
taxes. You good. You know. I mean, you can't get away with that. Get around that. Um, and the other one is firms who can cut real wages. Now, firms who can cut real wages. There are a lot of people who work at jobs where um your pay can get cut and they can say, "Oh, it's inflation." It's like, "What? Wait a minute. Wait a minute." Now, we just talked about uh um cost push and demand pull. Now, I'm working at a place where it costs a lot for this product. Okay, got it. But demand for this product is high, and demand for this product is high. You're going to tell me that You got to cut my wages because of all this other nonsense that's out there in the air. I don't understand. No comprende. Help me, please. Like, come on, man. You can't.
I just think that again with the current job market, with people deliberately walking away from their jobs, I mean, this COVID thing has turned into a whole new beast. Um,
Man, please.
a lot of people are really, getting to that place where they prefer to work from home. And if
Yeah.
you can't offer them a position where they work from home, then they're probably not going to stay with you very long. Um,
Mm,
I think that just going off of, again, what I see with the job market, a lot of people are, to a certain extent, they're trying to set themselves free. Meaning, a lot of people are opening up their own businesses now. Uh,
mm,
a lot of people have ideas that they've, been thinking about for years, or,
mm,
some type of service they wanted to provide for years, but they never had the opportunity to. So with this whole pandemic situation, people are really wising up to the fact that, hey, if I'm going to do it, now's the time to do it. And a lot of people are. So, hats off to them, definitely.
yeah, definitely. Like, for real, for real. Um, so let's talk about who inflation hurts. Um, and the first thing on there is savers. When I was looking up these items, I kind of had an idea, but I really didn't. It really didn't sink in that people who save, um, inflation hurts them. But then you have to look at it like this: when the value of money falls, your savings decline. Um, so if the value of the dollar is not high, of course inflation hurts you because let's just say one day $5 can get you, a cart full of groceries, and next week $5 can only get you three items. I mean, you save this money and you think, hey, I got this, I got that. You go in the store and it's like, oh, this is all I can get for $5. Um, the days of going in the store and spending $50 on something, or but let's just say the days are going that where you had a whole bunch of money in your savings account. You was like, yo, I got it, I'm good. Um, but as inflation rises, you find out that you're not good because what you used to be able to do 5 years ago with that money in your savings account, you really cannot do it now. You just can't do it. It's impossible.
No. I mean, the thing about it is you got so many people who are looking to retire. They save constantly. They have their 401ks, their
Pensions.
investment portfolios, things along that line, where, let's say, 10, 15 years ago, they thought they were going to be sitting pretty.
Mhm.
But now, because of, the latest turns that have occurred, they're worried about, will I have enough to actually retire now?
Yeah, yeah, and then you also have to look at again, people who saved all their lives, and it's like, what, I could retire at 60 years old because I've done this and that and everything that they said I should do, and because inflation is just through the roof. you know what you at 60, you was like, I'm just gonna ride into the sunset, and it's like, what, hell, I gotta ride to high noon because I gotta go back to work. Like, I just can't kick it like that.
Right. It's like they were planning to retire at 60, and now they're thinking maybe around about 65, 66, if I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
yeah. And then the next one is retirees and workers on fixed incomes. We know how that is. Again, when I was working at Baltimore City Health Department and I was making $25,000 a year, that was my salary. And shit, things was expensive then. He's robbing Peter to pay Paul. Um, and when Paul came around, I mean, when Peter came back around, yo, where's my money? Like Paul got that joke. You gotta wait, like shit. And then Rob is coming too. He's like, oh, what's up? Yeah, shit, my name is Rob. Give me that. Let me get that. Man. Um, yeah, people on fixed incomes, they got it
They
bad
do.
these days.
They do.
Because I just, and I look at my own situation. I'm like, how long do I have to work? Um, Especially, I mean, then when you look at saving, um, yeah, uh, I mean, it's crazy. But another thing I want to jump back to who it benefits. Benefits. It also benefits investors. I'm not sure if it benefits investors on a small scale like you and I,
Right.
but investors in large investing, it benefits them because they have that knowledge of investing and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, they've been in the game, or they got the skills to do that. So it's like, hey, when inflation goes up, I know where to put my money to make it grow, blah blah blah. We either don't know that, or we don't have the resources to do that, so we don't benefit from that. So it's like we at a loss when it comes to that. Yeah, but jumping back to retirees and workers on fixed incomes, the elderly and people who have jobs where they're salaried employees, but their salary is not up there,
Right.
so it definitely hurts them.
Oh, true that. I'll give you an example of my grandmother. Right. My grandmother is a retired RN.
Hmm.
When she retired, she got a retirement settlement of like 300 some thousand,
Hmm.
um, plus some more stuff she got. But anyway, uh, thank God she was smart enough to put her money back and not blow it. But a lot of her friends are in positions now where they have to make the choice of, do I pay rent or do I buy my medicine?
Man, trust me.
So that part alone is telling you how much the inflation has gotten out of hand.
Yeah,
Um, that's a really hard choice to have to make. Do I buy
yeah.
my medicine or do I, pay my rent or my mortgage or my car payment or whatever the case may be?
Hmm.
Because they were thinking they were going to be good,
Yeah.
but because of all the craziness that has gone on, um, things have changed dramatically for them. So living on
Hmm.
a fixed income is it's not good for them.
Yeah. It's almost one of them things where you definitely have to think about group economics when it comes to inflation, because um when you can be in a situation to where you can combine incomes with two or three other people, it inflation probably won't hit you as hard, because let's just say you got four or five working adults in a three-bedroom house, and y'all divvying up everything to where it's like everybody pitches in a small amount. You could probably overcome inflation in a lot of ways.
Yes, definitely.
And I think that, to me, that's one way inflation can benefit some people, but everybody doesn't think like that, or are comfortable doing that type of thing because they don't trust people, this, that, and the other. But you know when it comes to that, it's crazy. um Benjamin says it's not just inflation while on a fixed income. um Yeah, it's not just inflation while it's on the fixed income. I mean, it's a lot of areas in there. But if you have, any
True.
other um, factors, please throw them out there so we can chop it up. Um, yeah. The next thing is borrowers on variable rates. As I mentioned earlier, if you buy a house, or you enter into some type of loan that has a variable rate, because when I first got my house, I was like, that looks good. I can get this, and at this point of my mortgage is going to be down at 3%, and I can pay 3%, and I can like my mortgage is going to be low, blah blah blah. And then you got to be like, wait, what if it jumps up to 12%? Damn, I ain't gonna be able to
Yeah,
kick that.
yeah.
So um, that um, definitely have to have that type of that financial literacy to understand that in terms of inflation.
I mean, the thing about it, like with the last um, economy crash, um, a lot of people had mortgages on balloon
Hmm.
payments. Um, they were thinking because my interest rate is variable, I can start off with this low interest rate, and then it might jump up a few more percents, and then so on and so forth. But
Hmm.
they weren't thinking, as far as the long run about, okay, maybe I've had this house for about 5 or 6 years now, and
Hmm.
I went from 3% to damn 23% or 33%. Like that's crazy.
Yeah.
So that's how a lot of people lost their homes during that last crash on those
Right.
balloon veritable home loans.
Yeah, man. That it's just crazy. Um, then the next thing is whole economy. And when when you look at whole economy, you're talking about, from a general economic uncertainty. Um, because when that inflation hits, as Benjamin was just, also saying, it's not only on fixed income. You got to look at the whole economy, like everything out there. We touched on grocery store, we touched on houses, cars, and this, that, and the other. Just the uncertainty of that, and if you're not in a position to where you know your income or whatever is sufficient enough, you know the economy is crazy. Every season, every holiday, every this, every that, every argument in the federal government or the private sector, it doesn't matter. That whole thing can affect the whole economy, and you could be out of luck.
Yeah. I mean, the way I view our economy is kind of like going to Vegas.
Yeah,
1 minute you're up, and the next minute you down and out, buddy,
yeah,
because it just it varies so much. I mean,
yeah,
they tell us, 1 minute our economy is doing great, and then with this whole pandemic thing, now our economy is kind of going towards the crapper, as they say, and next thing you know, they'll be saying, "Oh, well, we're turning around now."
yeah,
No, this shit is like Vegas, man.
yeah, yeah,
It's a roll of the dice.
yeah. 7-Eleven, Snake Eyes. Oh man, you out there like on Dora the Explorer, swiper no swipey. Oh man.
Okay,
Oh.
so exporters less uh, competition, competitive. I'm sorry.
So with that, well, before we jump into that, let's see what Benjamin got to say. He said, each generation has individuals that find ways to make more money from our pocket, take more money from our pockets, such as grain tax, highway tax, new driver's license, COVID price gouging, i.e., hotels, airlines, car rentals, groceries, gasoline.
Yeah,
Bruh, you ain't saying nothing but the truth.
all facts.
um, Price gouging is a beast, whether it is COVID or not. We've seen it in our lifetime so many times. Um, it's crazy. It is crazy. Have you ever heard of a rain tax?
No, I never heard of that.
Dude, let me tell you something. When they first talked about a rain tax up here in Maryland,
Hmm.
I don't know what other states have a rain tax. But the first time they said something about a rain tax in Maryland, I was like, how do you tax the goddamn rain? But now, don't quote me on this explanation, but pretty much they tax the when the rain comes down and it goes through the sewer system, this, that, and the other, it's taxes that we have to pay for the whatever with the water going through the system, however it's broken down. But I'm like, who does that? Like,
How the hell you gonna test me for Mother Nature?
right? Like,
That
wait
is
a minute.
insane. Yeah.
So yeah, and then highway tax. I don't know how tolls are in Florida.
Oh man, they mad crazy, huh?
Wait.
Mad crazy.
What is the average cost of a toll in Florida where you are?
I would say the regular everyday it may be like for a regular car, you're looking at about close to $4, 4.50 per car. And then it seems like, and this is just me, during like holidays, it seems like that goes up to me. I could be wrong, but I remember going from the top of Orlando down to Miami, and one way we spent close to like $70.
Benjamin,
Like,
Thaddeus, Cheryl, three individuals that I know live in this area around me. They're doing good. Y'all doing good. Y'all are doing good when it comes to that. Um, let me see what Thaddeus is saying here.
all
He
right.
says a stormwater fee is a charge imposed on real estate owners for pollution and stormwater drainage from impervious surface runoff. The system imposes a tax that is proportional to the total impervious area on a particular property, including concrete or asphalt, driveways, and roofs that do not allow rain to infiltrate. That's the rain tax.
Wow.
That is the rain tax. That's what we deal with in this area. And then Benjamin says the the Fraganackle bull the Fraganackle bull is killing our parents and grandparents on fixed income, and the rain tax is to pay for the misappropriation of funds that should have gone towards the infrastructure and didn't. Brother, that that when it comes to rain tax, what Thaddeus said and what Benjamin said, that's what blows my mind about that rain tax, because it's like, yo, really? Y'all got money going this way, that way, and the other way instead of putting it where it needs to be. So you throw that on us and you're inflating what comes out of our pockets, and we have less coming in, and y'all are doing nothing to boost salaries or this, that, and the other. It's mind blowing. Um, but to go back to what Benjamin said with the highway tax and the tolls up here, um, when I go to work, when I'm driving to work to DC,
Mhm,
the toll that I go through is like $8 one way, six to $8, something like that, one way.
mhm.
Um, and that's both ways that I got to pay that. Now we have the Easy Pass. I'm sure y'all got Sun Pass, right? Y'all got
Yeah,
Sun
we got
Pass.
Sun Pass.
Okay, so with the Easy Pass, we have where you can get a commuter plan, and a commuter plan is you go through a certain amount of times and you get it's a discounted rate. But if you do not go through the toll the required amount of times, they're going to hit you with the balance of the tolls, of like the full price of the tolls that you would have had to go through. It's coming off your account.
What?
Now, here's another way that they get you with that.
Mhm,
Let's just say I get an easy pass and I put $100 on the easy pass. The threshold for replenishment is probably like $35. Um, Whether you have the commuter plan or not, the more you go through the toll, your threshold for replenishment goes up. So let's just say in a month I went through like 50, 60 times. The next time my replenishment could be like $70, $80. And if I let my balance go to zero, I have to pay that whole $70, $80 to replenish my Easy Pass. And the way to lower that threshold is to
Hmm.
avoid the tunnel, which means, let's just say if I go through the toll, which cuts through Baltimore City, I can say, all right, I'm going to go through Baltimore City on the regular roads for about a month or so for that threshold to go down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sucks because I would probably have to leave my house 10, 15 minutes earlier to do that, to lower my threshold so that my replenishment balance is lower. Because for those, like, here's where it got me. I used to have my account set up where it automatically replenishes,
Hmm.
and I was like, all right, whatever, it's $35, I ain't gonna miss that. um my thing got hit for like $120 one time. I was like, why the hell is it $120? I logged into my account and the threshold was like blam. I'm like, what the, why is it now so high? Didn't read the fine print, but I read the fine print and it's like, okay, I get it. I gotta start going through the toll. Or here's another way around that.
Hmm.
Cancel that account and open a new one and start from scratch.
Okay. Sound like y'all need some Vaseline out there, son.
And we got plenty. Plenty. And that's the same,
Ooh,
and
ooh.
and that's the same thing with the subway system in DC. During certain times of the day, it'll go up because of rush out, commuter times, this, that, and the other. Um, and it's like, yo, wait.
Wow.
So you got to factor in, when you factor in inflation when it comes to that. It's like, well, at let's just say in 2000, it was probably like 75 cents to ride. Rush hour was probably like $1. Now it's like $2, $3, depending on the time of day. I mean, help me understand. But what bothers me about that is you're providing the same service, and you're telling me that maintaining the rail lines and new train cars and new this and that, blah blah blah, it costs more. So now we got to charge you more. But I'm like, wait a minute. I got to step back into my commuter consumer mindset. You're telling me that you really have to raise the price of these products and services when you have more people using them. So it kind of like goes, what you're making goes up anyway.
Yeah.
So you're still passing the cost down to me, but it's like, yo, it's up there anyway. Um, in the way that, here's the first thing that got me on monitoring stuff like that, because I went to the Maryland Transportation Department's website and downloaded their financial whatever for a year, and I saw how much they brought in and blah 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 and blah blah blah.
Hmm.
Now you're telling me that you really had to raise the price of tolls damn near double, and it's like, I'm not understanding, because half the roads are shit anyway. But let's just say you have a regular passenger car, $8 a car. Count how many cars go through this. Just one, like we got like 8, 10 toll lanes. Count how many cars go through one toll lane in 2 minutes. And then you look at the cost of that and y'all doubled the prices. You're telling me that you really had to raise the price of that? And it's
Yeah.
like, it's not going to infrastructure, you know, but you're charging me this. And it's like, where's the money going? All this inflation is blowing my mind because you're not doing anything to this. Like, I can ride down the road and bust a rim, and it's like, well, I'm thinking that you charging me $8, you charging me more to go through this toll. You fixing something. Where's it going?
That's the main question there, my brother.
Yeah. But to jump back into wait, let's see what Ben said. He says, Plus, why do we spend money to purchase a house and land that is set on when during and after paying it off, you never own it? Here's an example: you buy a car, pay for tax, title, plates, emissions. 6 months later, you sell it. The purchaser then pays the same on what has already been paid for, and on and on and on. Why not rent and let someone else pay for all the headaches and upkeep? Man, how
That
do you
makes
feel about
perfect
that?
sense.
How do you
Makes
feel
perfect
about that?
sense to
You
me,
feel that
Benjamin.
makes perfect sense? I say the same thing. It makes perfect sense. But we've been tricked into this own this, own that. And, the government at any time can come and say, hey, we want to build a highway through here. So
Yep.
wait, I've had this land. Let's just say I've had this land for 60 years in my family. We pay taxes on it every year. We pay this and we pay that and blah 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 and blah blah blah. Now you're telling me that you can just come take it and give me a few pennies and tell me, pat me on my ass and be on my way?
Yep. And my whole thing, Benjamin, is this, right? We buy cars, and again, like you said, we have to pay tax, tag, and title. And even when the car is paid off, you still got to pay to transfer uh, that title from the person you're actually buying it from, meaning the finance company or the bank or whoever, into your name. There's a fee, attached to that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have to keep your tag up and
Mm,
insurance. So it's kind of like you never really own the car. They tell
yeah.
you, yeah, you paid it off, but you never finish paying for the car. So it's crazy. Again, when we have these uh, pieces of properties, or like Soul Toucher was saying, when you have a piece of property that's been in your family for generations, but generation after generation, you still have to pay taxes on that property.
Yeah.
So again, you own it, but you never really own it. And I think that's one of the biggest uh, tricks or um, illusions that they pull on, the average citizens. A
Yeah.
lot of people, they just feel like, well, that's just a cost of doing business. How's that business when you've already paid for it? It's just crazy to me, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Ben, I get it. The answer is at the comptroller's office, but
Yes, sir.
I don't even think the comptroller could explain it to me in a manner that makes sense. Because one of my sisters used to work at a toll booth, and they didn't make a lot of money. And now they're they pretty much got rid of people at the tolls. They're all automated
Yes,
now.
yes, they
So
are.
it's like, so my toll got to be high. Why? Oh, maintenance for the computer system that reads the toll. You've had that there for years. So
Yep.
you can't like, to me, with you know limited knowledge or whatever, you cannot explain to me why it's going to cost me more to go through the tolls, and you're telling me, oh, because we're removing people and this, that, and other. Because how else did you collect tolls? If I ran the toll and didn't have an easy pass or didn't pay cash, you read my tag, sent me something in the mail to pay my toll.
Mhm.
No. So yeah. Benjamin says, here you go. You own the car, you just have to pay to keep it up and drive it on the roads. I agree. If I need tires, let me get tires. If I need brakes, let me get brakes. If my windshield wiper is bad, let me get that. I pay my taxes up front. And there it is. I know some people in some states, they gotta pay to get their vehicle inspected every year or every
Yes.
2 years. I'm so glad we don't have to do that in Maryland.
Oh man.
But we have to do emissions every 2 years now. But to have your car inspected every year, oh my god. I mean, I get it, but come on now. Like, come on. Nah, give me a break. But to get back to the exporters less competitive. Um, so with that, it's like if the UK inflation is higher than our competitors, then UK goods will become less competitive, and exporters will see a decline in demand and struggle to sell their goods. So pretty much, if hey, we not feeling UK goods. Um, inflation is going to tear them apart because nobody wants their stuff. So now they got all this stuff sitting around that they can't sell, and inflation is going up. So poor guys. Um, I don't know what to tell you, but that sucks.
It does.
Because that pretty much goes back to hey, what's trending? Hey, hey, the goods in Sweden. I'd rather buy what's in Sweden than buy what's in the UK. You know what? China's beefing with the US. Hey, we got no chips, can't make cars, so I'm gonna go to Yugoslavia and buy me a Yugo. Hey, it's cheaper. Demand go high, nope, the price of that goes high. It's like
Yeah,
that, man. Um, yeah, so that's crazy.
it-
That's
it's
crazy.
funny because remember when we were in Germany, like it was a thing to have a leather jacket, and you
Yes,
had to have the leather jacket with the 8 ball.
yes, yes, yes.
So then it went from that to you gotta have it from I think it was Switzerland or
Mm,
something crazy like that. If
yeah,
it's not from that particular country, then your leather just
it
isn't
just
it.
isn't it. And don't let it be a knockoff.
Oh no,
Don't
you
let it
better
be a
not.
knockoff because here's the crazy thing. It's a knockoff, but they want to play the inflation game too. Demand is high. So shoot, I bought 20 knockoff jackets for like $5 a piece. I'm gonna sell these jokes for $30.
Yep.
But wait, the first time I take it to the cleaners, the sleeve is gonna fall off. So, inflation, 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 inflation. That's another bad thing about inflation. Who does it hurt? Because as inflation goes up, they hurry up and make things this, that, and the other, and the quality of those products may not be as good. Um, so yeah, they want to charge you for production, raw materials, and this, that, and the other, but the quality sucks,
Yep.
and inflation hit it, and now it's way up there, and it's like it's not even good, and it's like I can't take it back because I didn't read the fine print, and it's like, oh, it's too much fixed income. I just spent my money on this, and it's garbage. Now I'm out of luck.
Exactly.
Mm.
Well, we just want to thank everybody for tuning in
Wait a
with us.
minute. Wait. We gotta go to the examples of goods and services that inflation has affected.
Okay.
We can't leave that out.
My system's crashing on me. I was thinking
Oh
that was weird.
Lord. But I got it up there. So,
Okay.
ladies and gentlemen out there that are still hanging with us. I know when I was younger, certain things cost a certain amount of money, and today they are ridiculous. So throw some things out there for us that in your time dealing with inflation, where you remember back in the day something costed a certain amount of money, and today it's like, what in the hell? um
I'll
the
say
first Go ahead.
a loaf of damn bread.
Oh,
A loaf of
how
bread,
much was a loaf of bread back in the day?
you can get a loaf of bread for like 80 to 90 some cent back when we were growing up.
Hmm.
Nowadays, it's more like what? Close to $4?
I think so.
Maybe even higher, depending on what brand you go with.
Look here.
That is ridiculous.
I can't buy bread. Because that'd be a waste for me. I don't eat bread like that. But if I buy a loaf of bread, I have to deliberately eat it because it'll go bad. That'd be a waste of money. It'd be a waste of money. Um, Ben says gas was 25 cents a gallon. Bruh, man, if gas was 25 cents a gallon in your time, or from a time that back then, um, I just put gas in my truck Tuesday, I believe. I think it was Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday. Gas was 285. 285 for a gallon of gas. And I had to put like 21 gallons in that joker. Um
Yeah.
Gas was like, for Ben, he's like 25 cents a gallon. When I first started driving, gas was $1 a gallon. And it blows my mind that gas has gone up and it goes up and down and stuff. And it's like, well, why is gas going up and down? I mean, you production should have got easier and better. But yeah, he says bread was like four for $1. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the good days.
Yeah. Stephanie says groceries, gas, movie tickets. Wait, movie tickets. Bruh. How much was movie
Ooh.
tickets when we was in Germany?
Ooh. What is it like? Maybe like $6, $8, something like that.
What movie tickets is like 13 $14 now? Something like that.
Yeah.
And popcorn is popcorn is like $8 a bucket. Yo, like a
Yes.
little bucket.
Yes.
And the soda's like $5. Like, come on, man. Um Ben says canned goods for $1. Do they even have canned goods for $1 now? Do they even have canned goods for
I
$1?
I can't even tell you the last time I saw a damn soda can for like 50 cents.
Oh, that was a long time ago, bruh. Long
Remember
time
at
ago.
Walmart, out in front of Walmart, they used to have the discount vending
Yes.
machines?
Yes. Hey, and that goes to what Ben is saying, penny candy. Dude, I remember when I was little, the candy vending machines, you could stick a quarter in there, you get a handful of candy, and you have so much candy that when your hands sweat, you leave the dye in your hand. You're not doing that no more.
Yeah.
You're not doing
110,
that no more.
149.
Katrina
Ridiculous.
says 9 cents for a stamp, 10 cents to make a phone call. Dude, how much is one stamp these days?
Isn't it like 40 something cent now?
I don't know. But let me tell you, the price of a stamp is so damn bad now that they got forever stamps. Meaning because when we was growing up, stamps had the value on it.
Yes.
That went away. So it's like you buy forever stamps that don't have the value on it. It's like so when the price of stamps go up, that stamp that you had is still good.
Right.
She says 10 cents to make a phone call. I don't know how many of y'all out there remember phone booths. I don't remember.
I
I mean,
remember when phone booths went up to 25 cents.
I remember when they went to 25 cents. I remember when it was 10 cents. I remember when they went up to 75 cents. I remember when they went up to $1. I remember when they went up to $1.25 and then
Yeah.
cell phones came and they was gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ben says movies, $20. Yeah. Depending on the movie and whatever, $20. But again, the concessions are a beast.
Oh yeah.
The same box of Mike and Ike's that you can get at the corner store for like $1, $2, $4 or $5 at the movies. Come on now, you killing me. You killing me right now.
Box of damn
Um,
juju beads.
a can for $1.50. Yes, a can for $1.50. Man, look, that's crazy. A bottle of water in the store. The a little bottle of water. Um, Ridiculous. Now, I had a conversation not too long ago about, bottled water and, it's Deer Park and Nestle and this, that, and the other. And it's like you go to certain stores and it's like a bottle of water like this big for like $3, $4. And like, wait a minute, it's just water from municipal sources around the corner over here.
Yeah. It's filtered water.
Yeah, filtered, heavily filtered water. Like, get out of here with that mess. What's another thing that's going up tremendously? Eggs,
Ooh.
sugar,
Yes.
butter. You remember when a gallon of milk was like less than $1?
Yep.
Yeah, it's man.
Bags of ice. Good one. Good
Yeah,
one.
bags of ice used to be $1.
Katrina says newspapers. I haven't bought a newspaper in I don't know how long, so I can just imagine how much they cost now.
Dude, let me tell you something. Newspaper used to cost a quarter long before my time. I know throughout my time they went up to $1. I think you can get a newspaper for like $2, $3 now. Um, and being that they cut out on print newspapers. You get an online subscription, and that is like $20 a month or more, something like that.
Wow.
Um, he said chicken wings or a chicken box.
Good luck with that
You
one.
know, chicken wings are fairly a pack of chicken wings in the store is fairly cheap. Um, like you can probably depend on the store. Like
Yeah,
Food Line, I could
definitely.
probably get a pack of wings and it probably have like 16 wings, probably like $7 to $8 or something like that. But I'm sure that's more expensive than it used to be. Um, and then you have the organic ones that are like crazy. Um, what is another thing that's going up tremendously? Um,
I think the price to get married has gone up. To
really?
actually have a wedding, that's
Oh,
boy,
stop! You killing
that
me right
that is
now.
crazy.
Yo.
No, no.
Oh man. No, Ben mentioned hotels earlier.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, you can still get a room for like 40, $50, but it's gonna be janky. But
Oh man.
you look at the price of some of these hotels, and it's like, depending on the time of year, man, you can spend like $400 or $500 a night when at certain times it's like 150. And then back in the day it was mad cheap. College, ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I got a receipt right now where
Mm.
we stayed in a hotel. It was a couple weekends back, and from Thursday evening checking out Saturday morning, my bill was 733.
What you said? The Waldorf Astoria?
No, it was a Holiday Inn
Don't say Express.
airport
Oh
hotel.
wow, that's crazy.
Oh man, I just looked at that receipt too. But anyway,
Yeah.
it's mad crazy how much they are charging for hotels nowadays.
Ben says tires. Yo,
Ooh,
tires are stupid expensive. And like a lot of products out there, they have the low end, the mid end, and the high end. And then you have tire companies like I think it's BF Goodrich and General or whatever. But it's like, wait a minute. You spending the same tires on the same damn machine. Why different prices? Oh, I gotta pay for the name that you put on the tires. I mean, it's crazy. Um, yeah, that's yeah. Oh yeah, used tires are definitely in high demand now. Ain't nobody trying to spend like $600-700 on tires for a regular car.
heck no.
Nah. Mm-mm. When I look at that, like my car came with Kumo tires, and I think they're like $600-700 for four. I went to the shop right up the street from me, and I paid like 430 for four tires. They ain't the best tires, but hey, they work.
Okay,
They work.
point A to point B.
It is, and anything in between. Anything in between. But I mean that's it for now. What you got to say, man?
Um, I would say right now, pertaining to inflation, I mean, we're all feeling it. Um, as they say, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But I think now it just comes down to we have to be smarter about our purchases, and we damn sure got to be smarter about how we invest our money.
Mm-hmm.
So, one thing I can say is choose wisely.
Yes. Group economics, if you can, is my suggestion. One more comment. Ben says car maintenance.
Oh yeah.
We could go on and on about that, but that's
Mhm.
why YouTube University. You can do most of your car maintenance yourself, especially with these computers in the car. But yeah, on the whole, to just echo what you were saying, we got to be smarter about our purchases, and our spending, and you know, investing, not saving, because saving, is affected by inflation more than investing. So definitely get your investing on. Learn how to invest. However, um, if you want me to send you a link to Stash so we can both get $20, I'll hook you up. Just let me know. 'Cause I'm all about getting my free stocks.
Okay.
But yeah, inflation is a beast. It's crazy out there. We've seen the effects of inflation throughout our lives, our short lives, and from 1992 when I first started driving, and gas was 99 cents, up to now 2021, where gas has, I've seen gas go over $3. It just blows my mind that gas costs so much, especially when their production methods have streamlined a lot of things. But I don't know. I'm not the genius out here on this, but we just gotta, yeah, like you said, make better choices.
Definitely.
But before we get out of here, tune in next week. Please tune in next week because we have a young lady, 28 years old, who works for she works for LinkedIn, and she manages a lot of consulting agencies. Her name is Tiara Swain. You can look her up on Facebook and Instagram, Swain Solutions. On Instagram, it's Swain Solutions _. But check her out. She's 28 years old. She works for LinkedIn. She's worked for Pepsi. She's done a lot of things at 28 years old.
Yes, this young lady is very impressive.
Very
Very impressive.
impressive, very energetic, very knowledgeable. And she's going to be on next week 7:30. Definitely tune in. Show your support for this young lady, um, uh, because it's going to be a dope interview. Thanks, Ben. That we're fresh and lighthearted, interested, and engaged. And
Yeah, thank you,
please,
sir.
please, tune in. Next week. Check out our podcast. On whatever podcast platform that you're on. We have a lot of dope episodes out there. Um, Definitely give us your feedback. If you have any topics that you want us to knock out on here, if you want to be a guest on here, hit us up, kingandI369 at gmail.com. That's KINGANDEYE369 at gmail.com. What's up, Chantel? How are you doing? Glad for you to join
Peoples.
us. But yeah, other than that, we and after Tiara Swain, we have we're trying to get some more young ladies. One that used to work for T. Rowe Price, managing $1 million accounts. Again, around 28 years old. They out there killing it, man. They are out there killing it.
Got you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I'll inbox you the link to our audio podcast so you can check those out as well. But yeah, we trying to get these young ladies on here because they are very, very impressive. And man, I was in, yeah. I have nothing to say.
All right. Well, again, if you guys want to purchase the King and I Life podcast t-shirts, we're still working on that. Just giving you a reminder of that. And the riddle,
Oh shoot.
back to the original riddle.
Oh shoot. Here
What
we go.
goes through water but does not get wet?
Oh
We're
Lord.
going to drop a hint so you guys can hopefully get that, and we can go ahead and get that t-shirt to you.
Yeah.
So the hint is, when you wake up in the morning, what comes through your blinds? What comes through your blinds when you wake up in the morning?
Oh Lord, I can't take it.
Whatever it is, it does not get wet. So
Oh
hopefully somebody
man.
will get that.
Um.
It's going to be one of the first things you see when you wake up in the morning. It comes through your blinds.
Yeah. Other than that, I mean, other news. We're waiting for Phoenix to come back and
Benjamin
join
got
us.
it. That's what's up.
Wait a minute. Ah. There we go.
Oh, I'm going to have to give it to Chantel too. But Benjamin, you got the original
Wait.
sun rays. That's what we were looking for.
Oh
And
Lord.
was it Chantel that said light last week? We're like, you're so close, you're so close.
Yeah, that's what that's that. Yeah, that happened.
All right. Well, we got you too.
Send us your address so we can send these shirts out. That's that's
Yes.
that's all we got to say. Um,
Hit us up on Messenger. We
I
got
I
you.
I am privileged enough that somebody made me a King and I Life podcast mug. So I'm gonna see if she can make more of these. So to get those out. Oh, she Katrina said it was me.
Well, we got 3 of them coming out regardless.
Yeah,
We
we got
just
three.
want to make sure, and thank you guys for listening. So, um, again, I hope you guys enjoy the riddles. We got, I think, 2 more coming up, but again, thank you for participating, and make sure you hit us up on that messenger so we can get your information.
Yes, please hit us up so that we can get these shirts out to you. Thanks, Ben. Thanks. The mug is nice. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks everyone for your participation, your feedback. We definitely appreciate it. We look forward to seeing y'all next week. Again, hey, oh yeah. Um the number down there, right? The number that's right down there. Next time, next week, or any podcast, live podcast that we do in the future, please, if you want to jump on here with us, just text your name to that number when we're live, and we will get you on here so that we can get you, get your voice out there. Tell a friend, say, hey, I was on the King and I Life podcast. You might find yourself listed in the IMDb database. You never know. But that's all I got right now. Rambling on and stuff. You got anything else, bro? You got anything else?
No, we're still working on a few more things that we're going to try to bring to you guys. More ways to actually catch us, and we're hoping to get into the arena of you guys might even be able to see us on your TV, but
Yeah,
we're still working on that. No
still
promises.
working on that. The latest podcast episode that's up is Juneteenth versus voting rights. So check that out. It's a very passionate discussion. So check that out. Let us know what you think. Give us your feedback. But anyway, I got nothing else. Don't want to ramble. Everybody, thank y'all for coming out. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Shout out to Kevin Young, even though he didn't pop on here tonight. Tune into his thing over the weekend. It's Men's Health Awareness Month. Fellas, take care of yourselves.
Definitely.
Um, we out.
Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.